So.
Cool. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever this podcast may find you. It is I, your host, Gavin.
And I, your host, Justin.
And it is a snowy Monday evening here in Salt Lake City. We just had to, well, I say we. I mean, I helped a little bit.
You did, yeah.
But a couple people outside of my apartment building were stuck in the snow. So I live on a hill.
Probably like an 8-degree incline.
Okay, yeah. And the thing is also the road crowns.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of them was stuck on the right coming up a hill, and the other one tried to go around
to the left
and got the crown basically forced them off
and slid into the curb.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they had enough sidewall where they were fine.
Oh yeah,
but still.
So the Tacoma saved the day.
Coming in and saved the day with the toe strap that you bought at AutoZone when I fucking saved your ass like 3 years ago.
I had to be saved once.
By a Subaru.
Hey,
a Subaru saved an Audi.
Yeah, because I was an idiot driving on that with bald tires.
Because tires. It all comes down to tires.
Yep. It comes down to I was an idiot for not replacing them sooner.
Yeah. Driver mod and tire mod.
Oh, yeah. Totally. 100%.
Driver mod factoring into the fact that you didn't buy better tires already.
Uh-huh. So, either way, before we started up here to start podcasting, I dragged both their asses up the hill. And
well, yeah, one of them was a Chrysler 200 and the other was a Juke.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
I had no trouble. Just foot down with the Chrysler.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the taller part of the hill with the Juke, so I put it in 4-low, but it still just
and you were going more straight. Your wheels weren't turned very much to the right to pull her like up the hill.
Yep.
Like up the crown of the hill. Which I don't know. I mean, you got her out real quick. Still, it was, it was just 20 seconds.
It was just one adjustment necessary, and boom,
done.
Yep.
So another win for the Tacoma.
Yep.
Lick my finger and.
Thing hasn't let me down yet.
Not yet.
I don't know if I'm kind of waiting for when it does.
You're just gonna keep on raising the stakes until it eventually does, and you're really gonna be fucked.
Yeah, I'm gonna be buried 3 feet deep in mud.
Damn.
Like I've sent it through some deep shit already, and it has not even
just enter a mudding competition.
It is not even batted an eye. I mean, my friend that has his lifted Chevy with a 6-inch lift and 40-inch mud tires.
Yeah.
I outpaced him.
With your stock taco.
Yeah, I outpaced him with a stock taco with a fucking shell. It was great.
That's rad.
With a grandpa shell.
Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, we joined you on this snowy evening. How was your day today?
It was good. Luckily,
first big snow of the year, by the way, I should mention for the audience.
Yes, and it's supposed to continue all week.
Yeah, you were telling me on the phone earlier.
God damn.
I didn't pay attention. I thought it was just like today and it was going to be like cloudy tomorrow, but.
Yeah, like to give you an example to those of you listening. So today's 28 degrees currently, 32 high. Tomorrow it's clear for half the day, but then goes straight back into snow. And we won't see anything out of snow until Saturday. But to give you an example, Friday is supposed to be heavy snow.
What's the chance?
100% chance.
Right. Well, so when they talk about chance of precipitation, that's really to use as a gauge. It's more of a gauge of how much snow.
Yeah.
Not as much of a likelihood, because likelihood of snow starts to happen at like what 30-40%.
Yep.
Like that's where light snow comes in. Heavy snow comes in at around 60-70, and then anything above that is pretty heavy snow.
Yep, accumulating on Wednesday, 1 to 3 inches, 1 to 3 inches Thursday, 1 to 3 inches Friday. So just a constant, constant snow like there is right now.
Towards the end of my work day is probably starting to creep up on 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then my work day, I was just glad because just as a reminder, or for those that don't know, a refresher and new information, I do a route for Amazon at 4 a.m, and I go up to Camas and back.
Right.
So I'm going up and down Parleys. So I can usually make it up and down, but weather vastly depends on how fast I make it up and down.
Right.
So, I was just like crossing my fingers because when I checked last night, it said snow was supposed to start at 7, and then thank God it didn't. Because I was able to make it all the way back down and get done and do a little extra thing before running up to get my truck its 20,000-mile service.
And you're already at 20?
20,000 miles. I bought it May 5th.
Damn. And you bought it at 0.
With like 15. Yeah,
15
effectively
miles.
0.
Yeah, I would call that 0.
Yeah, and then after that, got prepared, came down here and collected money from people and played money grubbers and
Ooh.
deposited checks, and then subsequently paid it all out my ass. So it's
Nice.
great.
Money comes, money goes.
Yeah, so that was my day, and then you were just driving all day doing deliveries.
I was. What kind of tires do you have on the Tacoma?
They're Goodyear.
BFG of some sort?
They're Goodyear Wranglers.
Okay, gotcha.
They're the factory tires, and I noticed when I was picking them out, they came with multiple different kinds of tires. Goodyear Wranglers. There were some BFGs. Yeah, it was weird. Like the same spec truck, you'd have a couple with different brands of tires, which was kind of weird.
That is weird.
All brand new on the lot.
Yeah, that is weird.
There was another identical tan one to mine that was riding on BFGs. I was like, whatever. But I have no complaints with my Goodyears. Some of the Tacoma guys have complained about them because they're not off-roady enough. But it's a factory fucking truck that they're planning on you driving it on the road.
Right.
They're not planning on putting.
Well, KO2s are more hardcore than the Wrangler, aren't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
But the thing is, all these people are like.
I've seen cross tracks with KO2s and it's hilarious. It's kind of like the new outdoorsy bro thing. If you don't have a 4Runner or a Tacoma, if you want something more, or if you want something less trucky than that, you buy a Crosstrek or a Forester and you throw method wheels and KO2s on it and
you just
a
go for
lift.
it.
And what?
And you just send it.
Yeah, you send it into the fucking Trader Joe's, yes.
Yes. But they actually, to clarify something, they do make multiple different versions of the Wrangler. KO2 is a BFG.
Yeah.
The Wranglers also come with what's called the Duratec, which is effectively the competitor to the KO2. You know, the the softer, more muddy tread.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, so it's so funny when I was reading reviews, they come with shit tires. I'm like, no, you want Brodozer Mutter tires, which are hilarious because they last half as long and cost twice as much.
It's all about it's about the flex.
I know. And then
it's
they look
all about the flex.
They look like shit after like 6 months of driving them on the road anyways. Mm-hmm. So no thank you. I'm getting, good combination street and off-road tires.
Yeah. We just got some Michelin X ices for our van. Like how many miles? I'm trying to think of how many miles ago it was. It was a couple of weeks before we did MELA. So that's probably like 4,000 miles ago.
Okay.
And yeah, today was the first storm, and it was fine with traction control on, but most of the day I had traction control off because I can.
Because you're Gavin.
Because I'm driving a 120 horsepower little panel van or whatever, and I want to feel like I have 1,000 horsepower.
I'm sure you do.
Going through my front wheels. It makes driving it real easy. But yeah, and then on the Forester. Well, I've only had these tires 11 months because I got them like a few days after Christmas last year. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I have a snow story I can talk about.
Go.
So last year it was right around Christmas, and it had snowed a little bit, and I hadn't given my Forester a proper drive on snow. I want to. Because I didn't even done like the donuts in a parking lot thing yet. But I did want to feel how the car drives in snow before I can confidently, drive to work and drive around or whatever on snow. And a place for me to do that is one of my little favorite dirt back roads up in Park City. And I was at the this was just at the beginning of my little drive thing, and I was still going slow. I was doing like 15 miles an hour. I was just kind of getting a feel for it. It would be like a 15-mile-an-hour thing, and then like on a turn, I could like jerk the wheel and see like how it was doing.
Yeah.
But these were a jack of all trades, definitely master of none, or an attempt to be jack of all trades, definitely master of none tire. It was like an eco all-season mud and snow, just nothing. And they had already seen Gavin wear. Since May.
Naturally.
So 7 months of driving. of Gavin driving through the summer.
7 months of Gavin driving, for those of you that don't know, is about equivalent to a year and a half of normal person driving.
Year and a half, 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I'd driven it, through the summer and canyon carved and, blast on the freeway. And
yeah.
all sorts of shit to wear out a tire.
Giving them a run for their money.
Exactly. And I don't even remember. They might have been 5-year-old tires, though. I think they were starting to get to the end of their life.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I was going up this road, and I was staying on my side, and there was this white Escalade going the other way, and Miss fucking entitled bitch-ass Park City bitch.
Speak coming from Park City bitch, male version.
I'm not entitled, okay? I'm 84098, not 84060. Thank you very much.
You know how entitled that just made like
I know
how bitchy that just made you sound.
I know. No, there are two very different parts of Park City. Those that are from there would know. But yeah. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, she was just right in the middle with the fucking Escalade, and so I had to go off road. She sent me off, and it was the passenger side front hit a rock. And I felt it pop. It was just a big bang. And I was like, oh, yep, that's my fucking tire. That's gone. Okay, time to break out the spare. And so I called you. I was like, okay, who do you know that can get me a tire today? Because I have a photo shoot later today. Because I was shooting Vincent Meyer's car, actually.
Oh, yeah.
His GTR. And, yeah, got the spare on and then hobbled down to Harriman.
Yep.
And trying to think of the shop that you sent me to.
It was
give him a free plug.
Give me just 2 seconds.
Oh,
Intermountain Tire Pros.
Is that who it is?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Shout out to those guys who helped me and saved my ass at the last second.
Yep.
Because it was on a Saturday or something. It was like a weird day.
Yeah, and I remember it was at 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit later.
Yeah. Well, I called you at 1, after 1.
Yep.
And it's oh fuck, who can get me in right now? But yeah, so I hadn't driven on actual proper driving on snow until I think it was in January. I think it was like another month or something.
Yeah.
And then I went on a photo shoot with a Focus RS and an R32 GTR. We did a drive and photo shoot up Big Cottonwood Canyon.
Yeah.
And we went up to Solitude, and I just started ripping donuts. I was like, oh yeah. Sick.
This is what it feels like to have traction.
This is the first. Well, it was the first time I'd done NA Subaru drifts and NA Subaru donuts and stuff with a stick. It was interesting.
I actually just found out. I was looking up.
I
for the
still
fun
miss
of it.
my Outback.
It
It was so much better.
Well, naturally, it doesn't have 20 tons of top weight.
Right. It only has 20 tons of bottom weight.
Mm-hmm. No, I was just looking up, and apparently they make Blizzaks for my Tacoma.
Of course they do.
I would love to find get studded snow tires in that thing. It's already pretty damn good. Get studded snow tires in that thing, and I would not have trouble.
So,
ever.
Speaking of having trouble, so there's someone I'm talking to right now.
Oh.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy. We'll talk later.
Things are getting spicy. Anyways.
I was when we got in, I let her know. I said, also digging people out of snowy roads while trying to get home is real fun. And she said, I just saw a Tesla stuck trying to get up a little hill.
Oh boy. I'm
like, okay, that's hilarious. And she said, for the overpass at 9,000 South. Tesla stuck 9,000 South on ramp.
Good on you, Elon Musk.
Oh, which is actually a brilliant transition into some fucking recent topics.
If anybody has social media of any kind, and even if you don't, you have most likely seen some sort of depiction of the CyberTruck.
Yes, it's what, as I would like to call it, a real-life incomplete rendering.
Very much.
It's not done yet.
It looks like Lara Croft's tits.
Basically, point
as you have seen the comparisons.
OG Lara Croft.
OG Lara Croft from 1998 or whatever.
Whenever, yeah.
It's
okay. So Justin and I haven't really talked about the CyberTruck to each other, so this is kind of breaking ground for us.
Oh boy, where to begin? there's a lot of arguments back and forth. I'll just cover a few of those like back and forth arguments before I give my thoughts. Obviously, it's electric, so everybody's all up in arms that, oh my gosh, it'll be great. 0 to 60 in anywhere from 2.8 to 6 seconds, anywhere from 300 to 500 mile range, 2 or 4-wheel drive, 2, 4, or 6 motor configuration, 8 to 14,000 pound towing capacity. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of goods. However, here's the one thing. I think the most polarizing thing is obviously the looks.
Yes.
No question. And the only valid point that I heard. What?
Aerodynamics.
So the aerodynamic, if anybody just heard that little squealing, somebody else is trying to get up the hill right now and revving the shit out of their engine.
Yeah. Well, I only heard tires.
Oh, it's funny. Anyways, so aerodynamics is one, so I'll give it 2, because somebody did an aerodynamic rendering and it seemed to do pretty good.
Yes.
Number 2 is somebody's like, well, flat body panels, it makes it cheaper. Okay. No, I'll actually give you that. Flat body panels do, in theory, make production easier.
Manufacturing cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the problem is...
Makes it easier to wrap.
Mm-hmm. It makes it easier to wrap. Yeah.
I think that's why Tyrell likes it so much.
I know. Why he's already bought it. Shout out to Tyrell and Envision.
Oh, boy.
But...
he's super about it.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Good for him.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see how it is. But those are really the only 2 things that I can honestly say are good about it. Because other than that, I've literally seen people said, I like it because it's ugly. I have not seen a person say it's good looking.
People like how different it is.
Exactly.
They like how bold it is. Lieberman has actually been liking it.
Coming from a person who likes different generally, I don't...
Yeah, you do.
I don't hate it absolutely like some people do, but I really don't like it. And small comparison here, and yell at me if you will. I hope to get plenty of comments and feedback on this.
Mailbag.eos@gmail.com. Send all your hate mail.
To me, Tesla people are the iPhone people of the car world.
They're definitely Apple fanboys. Yeah, for sure.
It's not necessarily that, a lot of times they do correlate, but... the Tesla people are literally viewed the same way.
It's the Prius people. It's the Prius people back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, exactly.
Same shit, different day.
Mm-hmm. And so and at this point, I view it the same as the iPhone for multiple reasons, but the king among which is that every time at this point Elon releases a new product, without fail, it's fanboy droolingism.
Well, yeah, it's like Supreme. It's like the new iPhone. It's like, a lot of shit. I want me to read a Instagram post from Sir Johnny Lieberman.
Go.
Okay, my thoughts on the Tesla Cybertruck. I love how bold it is. If you think about Chevy, Ford, and Ram trucks, they all look the same. I disagree.
Same. I mean,
because Elon in his presentation had front photo, renders or photos or whatever of each of those brands and took the badges off, and he was like, they all look the fucking same.
Well, I think his point, which I will concede on this, is that the configuration is all the same. They're all conventional.
Yes, and he's trying to break convention.
Exactly. So, okay, I'll give him that. However, they do not all look the same. The styling is vastly different.
So I'm not done yet.
Yeah, go ahead.
He also went to say, put another way, if you gave any 12-year-old the choice between a Big 3 truck and this moon buggy, Tesla wins and wins big. For the actual design, I've long said that all SUVs need to look like something Patton would use to invade Sicily or a Mars rover. Okay. Well, Musk was saying that they're trying to pressurize this one and take it to Mars. Why not? Well, I'll tell you why not, because the glass is going to fucking break.
I know.
Do we know if that was actual, the clear metal glass, or if that was just normal glass that they put in the show car or show truck? Because that would be something to look into.
I actually have an article here with Elon explaining why the glass smashed during the presentation.
Elaborate.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. The unveiling of Tesla's Cybertruck was full of surprises, but none more shocking than the lead designer, Franz Holzhausen, I think I got that right, smashed 2 of the vehicle's quote-unquote armor glass windows on stage with a metal ball. It certainly wasn't the result Elon Musk was expecting, who could be heard muttering, "Oh my fucking God," under his breath.
Yeah, he did.
Yep. And he did attempt to fix this situation by saying, well,
you
looks
threw
like,
it too hard, is what he said.
yeah. In theory, I think the glass half did what it was supposed to do because
He said, well, it didn't shatter.
Exactly. A lot of times glass that's made to be, more durable, it's not that it doesn't do anything and things just bounce off it like ricochet. It's that it doesn't crystallize.
But they also did, like, moments before, they also had this whole thing of dropping the same ball from heights.
Yep.
And it didn't break.
Yeah.
And then Hans just fucking tossed the ball at the window in the truck, and then it broke.
Yeah, and on two, nonetheless, front and back.
Yes.
So that makes it worse.
He did it twice, and it failed on both. I mean, depending on who you are, it failed. I don't know, but tempered glass is also a thing, and tempered glass does the same fucking thing.
Exactly. So we'll see. I mean, I don't think it's realistic to put armored glass in there anyways, because the thing is, they're claiming bulletproof glass, quote unquote. True bulletproof glass is several inches thick.
Oh, yeah. And it's crazy heavy.
It's not going to be true bulletproof glass.
It's not going to be true bulletproof.
Even the truck's not going to be. I'm sorry. Like, that claim that it's bulletproof because it's all,
right.
Anyways, it's...
Remember, Justin, this is Tesla. They make these crazy claims, and they can never follow through on all of them.
Yeah, never completely follow through.
Right.
I have to say something real quick about this. I do admire Elon Musk a lot for what he does, and like he tries to push boundaries and find new things, and that's always a rough road.
That's kind of the one thing I can commend him on is the willingness to really push through and break molds
and just keep doing different things over and over again. Because there's there's a whole website dedicated to ideas Elon had that didn't come to fruition. No, I'm serious.
It's called Wikipedia.
Not quite, but
I know.
It's just his tweets of because he tweets all of his ideas and gets feedback.
Yeah, he needs to shut his mouth sometimes when he's on Twitter.
Yeah,
like when he talks about stock prices.
Exactly, and gets in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's. I think a lot of people view that as crazy or stupid, but the reality is that he's persistent, and that's actually something to be commendable. Is that he's constantly looking for new things that can improve.
I do appreciate that about him, but that can only take you so far.
Yep.
Also, back to the unbreakable glass. What if someone is, I don't know, trapped in a burning truck?
Mm-hmm. This is one,
and they can't open the door.
This is one thing that happened because if you look at the door, it has the fancy Tesla electronic door handles like they all have.
Yep.
And so if you're trapped in the burning vehicle and the electrical systems have failed,
yep,
you can't use a glass breaker in theory if it truly is the way that they claim.
Just get Hans in a little metal ball and you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
No, but if it's truly unbreakable glass, then yeah, you're just gonna let those people just die in their burning truck because they wrongfully used their quote unquote fully self-driving truck.
Yeah,
and they there's the one dude that crashed into a those overpasses when freeways cross over each other.
Mm-hmm.
He hit the center median of one of those at 100 miles an hour, and he was fine, relatively. He might have been carried in a stretcher. I don't think he was necessarily walking, but he did not die. But the Tesla fucking burst into flames.
Mm-hmm.
What if that happens and someone because they also advertised that truck. It's not going to happen, but they advertised that truck as fully self-driving,
which is a $7,000 option.
It also doesn't do anything. It's also bullshit. It's not true. It's not.
Well,
real.
It's not legal yet. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Full autonomy is not.
They also had a $7,000 full autonomy package that went with the Model 3 that had.
It's the same package.
They didn't have any changes. It wasn't any different.
Well, yeah, here's the claim. So, if I read you, in fact, let me pull it up so I can read you off of Tesla's website what this says verbatim. Because I pulled it up, and I spec'd a Cybertruck, because when you spec a Tesla, there's not exactly much to specking a Tesla. You basically say what color, and then yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can change seats. You can change, there was that package. You can change wheels.
Yeah, there's a few
I don't think you
things,
can change brakes. I think brakes are pretty much the one and the same.
So here's the quote from it. So full self-driving, $7,000 option. Quote, selecting full self-driving today will secure your price as it increases in the future.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was that
what
kind of,
they're
like,
basically
weird.
saying is that
Yeah.
you're paying $7,000 for it now, but say when it actually gets revealed, they might ask like 15 for it. That's what they're trying to get you with. The problem is there's no guarantee on when that's going to happen at all.
No.
Like, we
I'd be surprised if it happened in the next 10 years, maybe 20.
yeah,
Like
I
full
could
confident everyone is on self-driving 20 years maybe.
well, I don't even think at that point it'll be everyone. I think at that point it'll be legal and a good portion.
But then what good is it if it's only some of the people, right?
That's the problem.
Also, Tesla claims their self-driving technology is better than the average driver, or it's as good as or better than the average driver. The average driver, as you and I know,
It's fucking terrible.
garbage. What
That's
about then a competent driver? What about a professional driver?
Coming from somebody who does, again, Camus every day, up and down Parleys, I probably avoid 2 accidents a day at a time when there's hardly any people on the fucking road.
Honestly, I-80 between Park City and Salt Lake is way more tame than I-15 north and south of Salt Lake.
And I still avoid 2 accidents a day on it. Because there's hardly any people that are going up and down that at night except for trucks.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Anyways, back to the CyberTruck. So, it's... I really don't like the look.
It doesn't look like a complete truck. It's not a real thing.
Well, and other people have already pointed out flaws. A,
No mirrors.
no mirrors. B, tailgate, because your stop and or signal lights cannot be on a moving surface. They are currently on the tailgate.
But okay, okay,
They cannot be on a moving surface.
interesting.
What are you thinking about?
I was thinking about the LEDs that people put behind the hinges of their tailgates, like aftermarket LEDs. You see them on like Silverados.
Oh,
and shit.
that's fine.
Yeah,
You're
because
like,
it's not moving. I guess
Yeah,
at that point,
it's
even though
not moving. It's underneath, like it's on
Yeah, but it
on
can
the
get
bed.
covered. You can cover them.
Doesn't matter.
when you put the tailgate down.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. What matters is that wherever it is, it can have to be in a fixed position. And currently they're not.
I mean, did they say that they said that was the real truck? That was the thing, right?
They claimed that was the production vehicle, quote unquote. See, but here's the thing, and here's where kind of the Apple thing comes back around. So you can pre-order this for $100.
Yeah, they just made like $14 million in like a couple days.
Yeah, like
Elon runs his company like a fucking software company.
it was actually kind of funny because on several of my entrepreneur pages on Facebook, they're like, "This is how you generate cash flow."
Yeah, I guess. And he's gonna lose it all though, when it finally comes to making the fucking thing.
Well, it's the same thing that happened with the Model 3.
Yeah.
They lost, like they had several million pre-orders, all at $100 each. And,
Those were $1,000.
oh yeah,
Those were a G. They
Yeah,
had
they
like
were.
450,000
I forgot about
pre-orders,
that.
I think is what it was, and they were $1,000 each.
Yeah. And all that money went down with them trying to make a cheap, affordable car.
Yep.
But I don't know. Anyways, I mean, we'd be interested to hear your thoughts. But like, I think with both of us probably stand in the same position that like
I'm really
Like, kind of.
frustrated with Tesla as a company.
Yeah.
Because there are more and more things that keep on like popping up that it just doesn't seem very ethical. Not ethical. That's the wrong word. Kind of slimy, I guess. I don't know.
to a degree, yeah.
Just kind of shady.
Yeah, a little weird. Especially this. This is like, okay, really?
Also, the ATV that they threw in at the end.
Which was a Yamaha in reality.
Yeah, it's 600cc Yamaha. They might come out with one later, but like, why? Why? Oh my god! Why in your keynote or whatever you want to call it, your reveal, would you show an ATV thrown it at the end? I guess they want to show off the tailgate, how it like folds, like how it extends and goes down, and like the rear suspension lowers, so you can like roll your ATV in there. But then they made a point to plug in the ATV in the bed of the truck and say, "Oh, look, it's charging."
Yeah. No, and I think this is the epitome of that. It looks like a cash grab.
Absolutely. Everything about it looks like cash grab.
Yeah.
And they got theirs. They got it. They're going to continue to get it.
I know. Because he's kind of worshipped. And I kind of hate it. As much as I do, like I said, I do admire him for certain things, I kind of hate the fact that people just worship the ground he walks on like he can do no wrong.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't think anybody deserves to be worshipped like that.
A couple people.
Not even Dave Grohl.
I'm kidding. I'm only kidding.
As good as he is.
I know.
But yeah, and as a final note, I can only hope that it truly does happen, because then it's not a cash grab and it's not shady, and it's not all these people that put in $100 pre-orders.
Also, we haven't talked about the price of it. Base price is like 39 G's, isn't it?
$39.9 for the single motor rear wheel drive.
And then there's a dual motor for like
$49.9, and the tri motor is $69.9.
Nice.
And right now, here's the other thing that makes it look even worse. Those are your only three options when you're choosing it. Which one? Full self-driving.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't come with paint. It's
exactly.
Stainless.
Mm-hmm. And then buy now. That's it. That's all you can do buying your CyberTruck.
It's all about hype. And guess what? He got all these orders. He's not going to fulfill them all. He can't.
So we see, and here's the disclaimer at the bottom. Pre-order is fully refundable. You will be able to complete your configuration as production nears late 2021. Tri-motor all-wheel drive is expected to begin late 2022.
Jesus.
People, granted, it's only $100, and so I can actually kind of understand that versus like being $1,000 like the Model 3 was.
That's
and
an
waiting
actual amount of money.
Yeah, and waiting several years for that. But still, when you can't even spec it because it's so early.
So far away. Yeah.
Why the hell would... I don't know.
Yep.
Just don't get it sometimes.
I don't understand.
But
I don't get people.
In other news, really quickly before we move on, I think we've kind of beat the Cybertruck horse dead.
A little bit, yeah.
And it has been beat dead by many people, so we will...
I do want to hear people's thoughts, though. I want to engage with you all.
Agreed. We really do. In fact, I think we should put it up on Instagram and see if we can grab some attention, honestly.
For sure, yeah.
Because it's so polarizing that it's so funny to watch.
Well, people that follow my personal Instagram know how I feel about it.
Oh, yeah. We all know how you feel.
Yes.
The dumbest ones shout the loudest. Anyways.
At Todd Schmidt. Did you see I called him out?
Oh, you did?
Well, so he had, by the way, to everyone else, the C8 ZR1 got announced. Flat plane crank. Going to be a smaller but turbo V8 with a hybrid system and a combined output of around 900 horsepower. All-wheel drive. Think NSX, but on steroids, basically. Super cool. And there is an individual that is in the various local car groups who's a photographer that he's okay. He's all right. But he's super crazy opinionated about everything. It takes all these hot takes and gets weirdly political at times as well.
It's kind of funny.
It's interesting. He's quite a character. But, yeah, so he deleted that thread on my Corvette C8 post. And I just tagged him in it again. I was like, hey, Todd, why'd you delete your shit?
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
And he just, he didn't like the backlash because he's a fucking idiot. And, he didn't like being, wrong. And so he's like, I'm just going to give you thumbs up and say you're the best all the time. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Okay, whether you were meaning that derogatorily or not, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, here we go. 5.5 twin turbo flat plane crank.
Yep.
850 horsepower, 922 foot-pounds of torque. And that's the quoted numbers right now. But again, the car hasn't officially been
and the thing that he was bitching about was like, well, why didn't they make it 1,000? They already made 900. It's like, dude, chill. Just chill for a second. Just appreciate that we have something nice
because
to talk
maybe
about.
To make... It's like anything. Once you get to a certain point, whether it be horsepower, whether it be like perfection of a watch, doesn't matter what it is, to get that next 5%
so much
will cost
more.
the entirety of that 95% getting there. So for instance, if you're trying to get from 922 foot-pounds of torque or 890 horsepower up to 1,000, You may be talking about components that are 4 times the price.
But dude, isn't it just like a tune and a cam and headers and like you're already there?
Not for, not when you're a company that has to warranty that shit.
Exactly.
Remember, not everybody is Tavarish, and not everybody is the warranty.
Not everyone is also Todd.
Exactly. So,
But which, by the way, he drives a base. I might be an automatic Fiat 500 pop.
rolling.
Yeah.
That's kind of our new release video for the week, because apparently we have the second new release week in a row.
Yeah. Because the Mach E doesn't look that bad now does
Compared to this, compared to this dumpster
Honestly,
fire,
they should just drop the Mustang part, call it Mach E, and just be done with it.
and it would be great.
Be great. I'd be totally about it.
As we talked about last week, which you go listen to that episode on Monday,
Yeah. yeah.
or Tuesday. Sorry,
It was a Tuesday episode. We
Yeah.
record on Mondays.
exactly. But it would. We both agreed that drop the Mustang part, all for it.
Call it a Thunderbird. Call it a Lightning. I'd be
Yeah.
okay with it if they brought the Lightning name back.
Yeah, make it its own thing, because the Lightning's always been F-150 Lightning versus just being a Lightning, and it would kind of make
Yeah.
sense being electric.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here first, Ford.
Anyways, where are we at time-wise?
We are there.
We're there?
We are there.
Might edit that part out. Anyways, until next time, I have been Gavin.
And I've been Justin, and
And
this
this-
has been the Exhibition of Speed Dumpster Fire.
You fuck.